Okay, this is Trevor with the MTA podcast, and I am talking now with Meg and Ellie with the Tallahassee Marathon in Tallahassee, Florida, which is going to be February 5th, 2017. Ladies, how are you doing today?
Good. Doing well. We're happy to be with you this morning.
Awesome. So the race is in its 43rd year. Can you tell us a little bit about the history and how you guys got involved?
I'm going to let you handle the history.
Sure. Well, the Tallahassee Marathon started here in the capital city of Florida, as you said, 43 years ago, and it just had two runners at that very first race. Over the years, the course has mainly been out on the St. Mark's Trail, which is one of our most famous biking trails here. It goes all the way from Tallahassee to the coast in St. Mark's. It's a 16-mile trail, and so it is a super fast and flat course out there. You can run 13 miles out and run 13 miles back and get a great Boston qualifying time, but you don't get to see the city. It's really on the outskirts of town. You're in a wooded area, and you don't get to get a taste for Tally. And I think we've been seeing with runners across the country that they're picking marathons based on their ability to travel there and have more than just a race experience, but also a tourism experience. And so Ellie had this wild idea when she came on to be race director last year, or I guess it was.
I was going to say, I don't want to take credit for the idea. I kind of took over mid-year. Last year, they decided to change the course. Golf Wins Track Clubs is who creates the event. And two Golf Wins Track Club volunteers decided to change the course and make runners go through all of downtown, all of the city. Yeah. And then I became on board kind of halfway through it, a few months before the race as a co-director. And we just made it happen. Basically, we started downtown and we finished downtown, and we took all of our runners through 26 miles of hills, sites and canopy roads.
Does it go by the Capitol?
No, but when they start, they'll see it.
Yeah, at the start line, you're pretty much walking right past it. You're in front of Tallahassee City Hall. You can see the old Capitol as well as the brand new Capitol, which kind of towers over downtown. But
they do cross it, actually, on Monroe Street. So when they're crossing, Appalachian Parkway, they're seeing it. So if they turn right, if they turn their head right, they'll be able to see it at a distance.
But that's what's so key about this new course is no matter where you are in the city, you're experiencing one of our historic neighborhoods, seeing our beautiful tall timbers that are all around town. I think that's something that people don't expect to see when they come to Florida to run a race. We have some palm trees around here, but it's mostly big, beautiful pine trees and lots of canopy roads. And
I did not know that. That's because I've been to Jacksonville, but I haven't been to Tallahassee.
Totally different.
Nice.
Totally. We're one of we're the hilliest, so our terrain is totally different.
Yeah.
So if you're thinking about a flat course, this is not the one.
We're definitely the most challenging course in Florida, so come ready to head up the hills and run back down.
Wow. So that's interesting. I was going to ask you what makes the Tallahassee Marathon unique from other Florida races. So once you elaborate on that, the most difficult race in Florida.
I'm not gonna, like she said, it is very challenging, particularly the front half of it, the half marathon of it. You're not going by the highest elevations point in there, that's by my house, but you're definitely crossing one of the biggest hills. I don't know elevation, I think it's like 900 gain is what Brady was telling us last week. I can give you the elevation chart, but I just look at it.
Fine.
I just run it.
So it's hard to find a hilly course in Florida because it's so flat down there.
Right. But here, this course actually, when we had it this past February, a lot of people enjoyed it because if you're getting ready to go do Boston, it's a great race to train and make sure that you can tackle those hills up there.
Yeah.
So it'll definitely get you ready for it. If you are to the point where you're able to do 2 marathons back to back, more power to you. Otherwise, I would just tell them, come try it in the half and then go do your full out there.
I mean, I ran the half last year and it was like a roller coaster. That was how I described it. It was just up, down, up, down. And I love that. I enjoy that kind of running. Because I'm not a particularly fast runner anyway. So the hills or it being flat is neither here nor there to me. I'm just there to enjoy the day. But it was really challenging, but really fun.
We had cheering stations, so I know she was not alone ever.
Yes. We're really excited, too, that that's one of the other things that makes our race so different. We have 26 miles of cheering and water stations at every mile. We have an incredible new support system from the community because of that change to the course. Mm-hmm. Now businesses are able to see it right in front of them. Families are able to come right outside their house and cheer on their friends and family who are running by. And we've just seen an incredible increase in the amount of spectatorship at our race that I've never seen at any other marathon or half marathon that I've done anywhere in the country.
And another thing to add, you said what makes this race unique. The city of Tallahassee provided us with a finish line, a permanent finish line. So every time we go downtown, we see our finish line down there.
So is it kind of like painted on the road, kind of like the Boston finish line?
No, we're better than that, sweetheart. This is not painted. Okay. This was melted down to the ground. It was a unique process, actually. It took like 8 hours to do or so, but they basically is this plastic composite thing that they just melt into the ground like a big puzzle.
Yeah.
And nice. So it's going to be there for about 10 years or so.
What an honor that is.
Course, basically. We're stuck here.
Yes. So don't think you're going to persuade us to take away those hills. We've got a finish line and we're sticking to it.
Yeah. So how many runners are you expecting this next year?
I think about 1,500 probably. We saw a big increase last year and had about 1,300 runners registered and about 1,200 finishers. So we're hoping to keep seeing that number going up.
Yeah. And how many are running the half versus the full?
The majority of them are running the half. I mean, we probably had close to 1,000 people actually complete the half, and then about 300 people finish the full.
Yeah.
So we're adding some changes to the full course this time around that we're hoping that it will encourage more runners to come do it. It's going to be a little bit easier. This past February, the entire course was pretty challenging, including the full. So this time around, we're adding a little bit of flatness, not much, but a little bit of help for them on the back end. But that's typically how this race goes. The half is always the biggest portion of it.
That's usually how all the races go, I think.
Right.
So, Ellie, what does it take to organize a race like this? This is it's a nonprofit.
It is a nonprofit. Race. Yeah, it is.
So, how many helpers, volunteers do you have, and how early do you have to start planning this?
Well, okay, so Golfwinds Track Clubs is the organizer of the event. That is a nonprofit organization, and then we're also benefiting Hang Tough Foundation, which helps kids with terminally ill diseases or life-threatening things. Yeah. Then we pretty much started the day after this one ended. So this one this one ended last February on Sunday. By that Sunday night, I was already on my computer working. Monday night trying to schedule emails and appointments for the next year. So we have been working nonstop since literally it ended.
I've had other race directors tell me that too.
So what?
I've had other race directors say that I've asked that question to. They start planning the day after.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't even have a break. I remember sitting down on my couch, watching TV, emailing thank you to everyone that participated in the event, and sending them pictures of what I had on my phone at that time, and trying to get them to, okay, well, can we meet? Can you recap? That kind of thing. So it's been nonstop. But in terms of the amount of people that helps, it just all depends. Primarily, it's me, Meg, and Patty Valentine that have been. Hi, Patty. Yeah. we can't leave her out just because she's like my right hand on all this. But that's who primarily is doing the race. Obviously, we have volunteers that help us with logistics, like race days, logistics, expo, measuring the course, food, just anything that you can think of. But for the most part, it is us doing all the marketing, all the sponsorships, gathering up all the water station people, trying to set up meetings with police and cone people and everything to get it all together.
Is that kind of one of the difficult pieces to this is coordinating with the city?
No, actually, I have found it very easy to work with the city of Tallahassee. They loved the idea. This was the first race that we were able to combine the runners, our community, and the city. And I have had no problems working with them at all. I mean, when I went and met with Rick Fernandez, our city manager, Patty and I said, well, this is kind of what we want to do. Can you give us a finish line because X, Y, Z? He said, absolutely. This sounds like a great idea. I love it. So it took, 4 or 5 months worth of planning. And then we met, of course, with all the city commissioners, the mayor, and they all loved the idea. I mean, one of the things about this race is no one knew that it existed. The city, I think, kind of, I think I've heard of it or I've been a part of it. But when you change the race to downtown and make it go through the city, then it's a big deal. So they were definitely on board with all the changes, and they've worked nonstop to help us as well.
Yeah, I'm sure the race will continue to grow too.
That's our goal. I mean, every time I talk to someone, I say, okay, realistically, I got to think long term on this, and I'm thinking. A 3 to 5 year plan, I'm looking at it going, we can get 3,000 people here. We need to make this a destination race, which is what we kind of turned it into. And we need to let people know what we have in Tallahassee. Why do they need to come to Tallahassee during the cold months? Over here, we don't have snow. So, anyone that's up north that wants to run and train and do a race, they can come to Tallahassee and do it. If you're training for Boston, this is the best, place to do it also, because it'll give you some of the elevation, and you're still cold but not as cold.
So someone like me I've not been to Tallahassee, what else would there for me what would there be for me to do, like maybe with my family after or before the race?
I think there's plenty. Even I just moved to Tallahassee a year ago, and sometimes people complain that there's nothing to do when they live here, and me and my fiance, and I'm sure Ellie agrees too, they're not looking hard enough. Tallahassee always has something to do. We have plenty of festivals, craft beer, great restaurants, lots of family-friendly activities too. We have the Tallahassee Museum where you can go zip lining through all the big, beautiful pine trees. We have gardens up north of town. That's a beautiful Florida State Park. You can head out on that St. Mark's Trail for a beautiful bike ride all the way to the beach, which is fun. But we have plenty of really historic and beautiful places to visit, along with also, too, if you're a young single person looking to come to Tallahassee, you've got to go down to Proof and have a beer. You've got to
Madison Social.
Yeah, you got to go have a Mad Sober and enjoy yourself. But I think that's the other thing, too, that makes us different is that we are so close here to our two major universities that are here. Florida A&M University and Florida State University are both at home here in Tallahassee. And so there's a thriving nightlife community. There's lots of young people who are planning fun events and keeping this community really youthful and exciting.
And for those that don't want to do all that, like myself, that have 3 kids, that kind of, I don't want to go out every night. We have one of the best trail systems in the nation. I mean, there's so many parks and places that you can take your kids. Like she mentioned, the Tallahassee Museum, that's my favorite zoo. I call it a zoo. Yeah, you can go zip lining, but you have all these animals out there in their own territory. It's not like this concrete block where you're sweating your butt off and, in this zoo looking at the lion over there. I mean, they're in their natural, semi-natural habitat, there's water and everything around there. So it's really nice, and you could do it all year long. I mean, you can do canoeing all year long here. You could do all these outdoor activities because it doesn't get as cold during that time period. But I mean, we also, because I'm a mom, it's very important to me to incorporate those kids elements to the race, which is why last February we had a kids station at the expo. So we had a bouncy house, we had Target out there with coloring books. We had Hang Tough Foundation with Lego. So it was important for me because when I go to these races, when I travel, I'm like, okay, if I take the kids, what am I going to do with them? And if I don't take the kids, then I have to work it out with someone at home to do all the babysitting and stuff. So that's something that was very important to me. And then this next year, we're incorporating a 1.2 mile race for the kids on Expo Day. So that if you are coming from out of town and you're thinking, oh, should I bring the kids? Should I not? screw it, bring those kids over here. We want to see them. Obviously you're going to have a sitter when you're doing your race, but we will do our best to help people figure out what to do with those kids during that time period. And a 1.2 mile race is one of them.
So is the expo the day before the marathon?
Yes. And it'll be at Kleeman Plaza downtown. So they'll be able to see the finish line. It's a beautiful open space.
An outdoor expo, which is kind of different.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. That's something I haven't been to yet. So I was going to ask, what are the temps like in February there in Tallahassee?
Well, I mean, for us Floridians, it feels cold, but it's really not. I would say that at least when I was running the half this past year, I think the temp started in the 40s, and by the time I got to the finish, it was in the 60s. So
we have the perfect running weather this
Yeah, I was about to say that's perfect.
I'm not gonna lie, we got really, really lucky. I think the average temperature around that time period is probably in the 50s or something along those lines. I mean, I'm not a weather person; I can look it up, but it's definitely a little bit chilly. You're not going to start that race, sweating. A lot of people started with, gloves, long sleeves, and then you just throw it out along the way.
Okay. So the expo sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to have stuff there for the kids, bounce houses and everything. It's outdoors, which is cool because I've never heard of that. Anything else about the expo that runners need to know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. We've got a lot of great vendors and community partners and sponsors that are going to be a part of that expo. And we're excited to have some great products available to buy and check out there. And I think probably the most interesting thing is the VIP tent that we're putting together. And that's still kind of in the works, figuring out the details. But right now we have some contests going on our Facebook page and some new ones that are about to start up soon, where we're going to be giving away passes to this VIP tent, which will have special food, special beers for after the race, although every finisher does get a beer at our race.
Cool.
But this will be a little bit extra. We're planning on maybe having some massage available, trying to add some fun perks. And we think that probably the easiest way for people to get entry into that VIP tent, if they don't win the contest, is that we're going to make sure that they're able to support our charity partner, the Hang Tough Foundation. And if they're able to make a donation, they'll have access to that fun VIP tally tent.
For the expo, we're definitely going to have beer out there. Tri-Eco is going to be giving out samples of beer. We're going to have food.
Is that a local brewery?
Tri-Eco is a distributor, but we do have local breweries that are going to come on board as well.
Gotcha.
We're going to have music. We're going to have, like she said, we had last year about 30-something vendors, and this year the list has increased between clothes all the way to food and exercise. Our presenting sponsors, Capital City Runners and Tallahassee Memorial Healthcare, are going to be there as well. So it's going to be a fun event. I remember being in the middle of it all thinking, oh my God, what have we done here in a good way? I mean, like, it gives me chills right now just thinking about it, because we kind of created something that it hasn't been done before here in town. And it turned out great. People loved it. It was a little chilly on Expo Day, but you know what? It's okay. We sucked it up. And for race day, we had the perfect weather.
Yeah, Northerners will be laughing at us.
I know.
With shorts.
Meanwhile, I have a scarf. I've got 3 jackets on, and it's only 50 degrees.
Yeah. It's like a Canadian summer right there.
Yeah.
See, yes.
Totally.
So
look, I'm right now, and it's 80 degrees. Okay, my friend.
LA is always cold.
What other kind of swag do the runners get when they come?
Yeah, we're really excited. Soon we're going to be revealing our new medal design for this year. And one thing that we heard from runners last year was that they wanted to make sure that they felt like they got something a little different, whether they ran the half or the full. Okay. So we've made sure that the ribbons are going to be different this year, so you can easily distinguish the half marathoners and the marathoners from each other, even though both are an incredible achievement. And so we're super excited to be revealing that at an upcoming event that we're having here in the next couple of weeks. We're, of course, going to have our shirts.
We're sporting our shirts here.
But we'll have them in new colors for this year. Let's see, what else comes in their bag that they're going to
all of our vendors get an opportunity, of course, to put all of their materials inside those bags. A lot of them are going to be free massages, free
workout classes.
That's what I was thinking.
I just ran the Berlin Marathon, and they didn't even give us a T-shirt.
Oh Oh,
well, you need to come to
I
Tallahassee.
know.
Get a T-shirt, and we're working into creating some other swag for runners. It just depend how we can get them. Of course, being nonprofit race, we want to make sure that the goal here is to raise money and awareness for these charities. That are local charities. But I mean, I think everybody that did the race was very happy with what they got. Doubletree Hotel gave every single person a fantastic chocolate chip cookie, which
really yummy.
It was to die for. So at the expo, they'll be there again. Yeah, so they'll definitely get a lot of good stuff from us.
Well, I know runners like that. Another thing that runners care about is the finishing area and the food and the post-race festival. So maybe you ladies can talk about that.
Well, Meg kind of talked to you a little bit. That's the VIP tent. So we're going to have that VIP tent. All of our runners are going to get free beer from Tri-Eagles. Michelob Ultra is going to be out there. The one on the VIP tent is going to be a little bit different. So there's will be a more special beer, a local A50 beer that we'll be distributing out there. We're going to have massage people. We're going to have music. We're going to have food. We're going to have a 2-hour concert provided by Jason Taylor at our Heart Radio for us. So we're definitely going to keep that spirit going for everyone, making sure that we make it a fun place for them to just, instead of just finishing the race and going home, finishing the race, hanging out, cheering for other people, and enjoying it.
Well, and that's what's so lucky about the finish line being right in the heart of downtown. Ellie had mentioned the Doubletree who gave us those delicious cookies. They're also our host hotel, and that's a block from
Not even. I mean, it's like you just go up another hill.
So people should stay there.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. That'll really make it easy to be close to the start and the finish line, and you can enjoy that finish festival and then start cruising around downtown. There's lots of great restaurants. You can check out our local museums and sites all right there. Go take a picture with your Capital City medal right in front of the old what year is it? 1923 Capitol. We have
she knows more history than I do.
Yeah, it's a really beautiful old building. You can take a tour, but you're right in the middle of it all. So it's lucky to have that finish line festival, but then also be able to walk just steps away and see more of the city that you just took a 26.2 mile tour of.
Right. I mean, that was important to me. I'm a little older and I'm a little picky, and I remember I've done many races and I'm thinking, okay, how do we make it easier for people? Because I hate getting on a bus. I'm sorry. I hate at 4 a.m. in the morning, right before I'm going to go run. I hate traveling to drive an hour. I hate having to look for parking for another 2 and then walking another mile to the start. So not to say that I'm picky, but I kind of am. I've been spoiled a little bit. So one of the things about this race is if you're staying downtown at the Doubletree, you literally can just get out of your hotel room. They're giving our runners breakfast. You just walk 100 yards and you're at the start line. Then you walk another 100, 200 yards and you're at the finish line. So if you want to do, come back and forth from the expo, different speakers that we'll have through the day that you can hear them, you can do that as well. So and then the parking is not an issue either.
Yeah, and I feel like too that finish and that start line experience feels very hometown. Like right after getting here last year and then running in the race just a couple of months later, it feels like Tallahassee. You're seeing all of our local runners. You're right in the middle of the heart of our town, and it feels very tight-knit. It feels very intimate, and yet you're out there with 1,000 other runners. So
right.
It's really cool.
Dancing at the finish line.
All right. So how about we'll just wrap up. Tell folks that might be watching this about the contests that you have running.
Oh, yeah. So we have this great contest running right now. The easiest place to find it is on our Facebook page. There's a giveaway tab where you can use our Rafflecopter app to enter up to 7 ways. You can sign up for our newsletter. You can post on your Facebook. You can give a visit to our website. Depending on which options you're willing to take on, you can earn up to 7 entries for an incredible prize pack. First, you get 2 entries, so an entry for yourself and 1 for a friend or family member that you want to bring along with you, either to the half or the full. You get a 1-night stay at the Doubletree, so you'll get to enjoy that quick walk to the start and finish line. Also, Science of Speed is an endurance sports coaching company that's based here in Tallahassee, and they're providing a tailored training plan for both of those runners that are coming to visit us so they feel perfectly prepared for race day. And also we're planning with the city, with our local tourism department, we're creating a kind of Tallahassee swag bag that will be ready for them when they get to their hotel with some special prizes and other fun perks and apparel and all that kind of fun stuff.
And always the warm cookie from the DoubleTree.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now I want a cookie right now.
I know. On our way.
Okay, so it sounds like if they head over to your Facebook page, they can find the details, and there's 7 different ways to enter the contest.
Yes, that's right. So it's everything from following us on Twitter, liking us on Facebook, to actually posting a message out to other runners, letting them know that you've entered the contest. But if you'll help us spread the word and get connected with us, we'd love to give you this cool prize.
When does the contest end?
The drawing for that is going to be on October 15th, which is the day before a regular 16-week training plan would start. So it's just in time for you to start prepping for your big race day here in Tallahassee.
Okay. And I think I have a code also that you gave me. Is it podcast for people to save 10% if they don't win the contest? They can.
Yes, that's right. We'll make sure
we'll make sure that it's still active and it's $10 off, not 10%.
$10. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So those that are watching this, if you don't win the contest, which we hope that you do, but if you don't, and you sign up for this race, use the code podcast, and if you let me know that you've signed up for this race with our code, I will send you a MTA training plan if you need one for free for the half or the full.
That's awesome. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, you guys definitely seem but you're definitely passionate about what you're doing, and
that is definitely true.
For the amount of time that we spend on this race each week, simply as volunteers and myself as a small contractor, it's a lot of love and a lot of passion for what we really feel is a special race.
I mean, if you want to make it grow, if you truly want to make something amazing happen, you have to be passionate about it and you have to believe in it. And I truly do believe in this race.
Yeah.
So come feel our passion.
Yeah.
Come for the passion and the chocolate chip cookie and the nice weather in the month of February.
That's right. And cross the finish line for sure.
Yes.
And also, folks, you can go to TallahasseeMarathon.com, and I will link to that under this video, wherever you're seeing this video at. So, Meg and Ellie, thank you so much for telling us about the Tallahassee Marathon, and we wish you the best in February when the race comes. February 5th, folks, 2017.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate it.